This is how Judd for Boxing Social at the Alexandra Palace. I'm delighted to be joined by Dmitry Salita. What are you expecting, really, from today's Super Sunday, Sky Sports? What are we expecting, Dmitry? It's a bit different. Boxer, first ever one for Sky Sports today.
I gotta say, I love boxing in the UK. I keep saying it. 2 shows last night, a show today. Quite incredible. So much press, so many fans. This is almost packed. I love it. This is a country of boxing, and I love boxing. So every time I come to the UK for a boxing event, I'm a very happy man.
And we're seeing you over here more and more often, to be honest. Obviously, Shields Marshall, obviously last night, etc. Have you had a go in the fan park, the punch machine out there? Have you had a go?
Haven't had it yet. I gotta stretch up a little bit, but you know Roy Jones' song, "You Must Have Forgot." So I'm ready to show it if I need to.
Look, main event tonight, Adam Azim. I'm sure you are aware of him, aren't you? So what can you expect from the main event? How much do you know about Adam, first of all?
I'm aware of him because I promote, I believe, the best light heavyweight in the world. His name is Ali Ismailov. He's top 10 in the WBC, top 10 in the IBF. Only handful of fights, trained by John David Jackson. Incredible prospect. To me, the best light heavyweight in the world. And we tried to make the fight with Mr. Azim, but they didn't want to take the risk. It's okay, I understand. So I am aware of him for that reason.
Obviously, last night you were at the present Matchroom show, Franklin versus White. First of all, how do you assess the fight in a whole?
Well, I think Jermaine won the fight. Well, I'm his promoter, so it's okay for me to feel that way. Most importantly, everyone in the boxing media felt that he won the fight. People judging the fight, the broadcasters felt that he won the fight. I think David Haye had it a draw, and that's the closest that I saw it to Dillian Whyte winning. So it's obviously an unfortunate decision. Most importantly, the boxing fans saw what Jermaine Franklin is capable of. He showed that he's world class, and he beat arguably the 5th, 6th best heavyweight in the world, and 12-1 underdog. Quite incredible, young guy, still a lot of fight left in him, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of Jermaine Franklin from the United States in the near future.
Yeah, because he's made such a good of account of himself last night. Arguably, he won the fight. A lot of people ringside, a lot of people watching at home thought he won the fight. Is there signs of a possible rematch, or is that been and gone now?
Well, we had a rematch clause, had Jermaine won in the contract. Again, really, objectively, I feel that he won, but you heard what Dillian Whyte said yesterday. He doesn't want to hear about it, but boxing is everything. Things change. So obviously, if he can make the fight with Joshua, that's a big money fight, big fight for the UK. I think he'll obviously go that route. But if it can be made, and there's so many things happening at the same time, then I do feel that a fight with Jermaine is an interesting fight, and something that the fans would like to see, and we'll see what happens. Jermaine deserves, and after he gets past the initial emotion, and obviously it was a pretty tough fight, the pain, I hope he enjoys the victory. For sure, after this, he's going to become a better fighter, because now he has the confidence of knowing that he can hang in there and compete and beat the top heavyweight in the world. And he and I spoke last night a couple of times. It's unfortunate that he got a defeat, but he feels good about it. I told him that he's going to be a better fighter having that experience, and he's ready to mix it up with the best in the world.
Best in the world. Where do you rank Franklin after last night's performance in terms of best in the world?
He's definitely a top 10 fighter. Still a lot of room for improvement. He's been inactive over the last 3 years. Only had one fight for some personal problems that he had. He had to take this opportunity and wanted to take it, and did his best to get himself in the best of condition in a relatively short period of time. But Jermaine is only going to get better. Sky's the limit for him, and not a lot of good American heavyweight prospects, contenders, real bona fide world-rated contenders, and Jermaine is one of them. And he showed that he belongs at the top, and I'm sure that we'll be able to make big fights for him in the future.
Yeah, there are talks that Dillian Whyte moving straight on to Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn did say if that fight can't be made, which I think that fight will probably be made, but Franklin may step in and take Joshua. Is that a fight I guess you'll be interested in for sure?
Definitely of interest to us. I just don't see Joshua taking on Franklin at this point. I really think the fight that makes the most sense for Joshua is Otto Whalen. who gave Tyson Fury the toughest fight of his career. Tyson Fury is obviously fighting next week, so that's a big one.
Discussions had for that? Discussions been made for that?
Yes, we've had discussions with Eddie as late as last night. Obviously, again, there's many forces in play, but Otto is on the list, and I think there may be 2 or 3 names, and I believe Otto is under serious consideration.
Yeah, arguably Tyson Fury's one of Tyson Fury's biggest tests, that's for sure. I mean, that fight could have stopped, let's say, the biggest test in your eyes.
Not in my eyes. Objectively, he landed more punches against Tyson Fury than Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko put together. Landed more punches than anyone against him. And some people felt the fight should have been stopped based on a cut. So Otto definitely showed that he belongs with the best, maybe the greatest, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I spoke with Anthony Joshua last night for a bit. Asked him if what his thoughts were about Otto. No, he was very positive, very nice. We actually, chatted, had a warm chat. But he believes that Otto is in play, and I think this week we'll know what's up.
Also, another fighter on your list, Clarissa Shields, for example, as well. There are talks on Natasha Jonas' next move. Clarissa's name's been added into the mix of that. Clarissa wants to fight everyone. Let's get it right. What's her next move in your eyes, Dmitry?
Clarissa wants to fight the best. We'd love to come back to the UK. I believe that fight with her and Jonas or Harper makes a lot of sense. And at some point, a rematch with Savannah Marshall would make sense as well. I mean, it was such an incredible fight. I'm happy that the judges got it right that time. And, the British boxing fans, at first, obviously, most of them were not on her side. But after seeing that fight, most of them supported her, which is really incredible and objectively correct. So we love coming here. We love the support of media. I mean, I love the fact, again, that there's 3 shows happening in 2 days. Yesterday, 2 big shows. Today, a show.
One on Friday as well. York Hall, Wasserman, Harlem Eubank.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. So this is and the fact that there's broadcasters that support it, boxing fans that support it, sponsors that support it, because everyone is on a different platform, different sponsors, maybe different fans. It's really beautiful, and it's great for the growth of boxing. And this is a place that I love to be.
Obviously, Clarissa is the GWOAT, as she says. She certainly made that sure to the British public at the O2 against Savannah Marshall. In terms of Jonas and Harper, in terms of Jonas's next move, if you were promoter of Jonas, where would you go? Would you take that unification against Harper? Would you go for Clarissa, the Katie Taylors, for example?
I think that when you fight Clarissa Shields, it's a no-lose situation for you, because you're fighting Muhammad Ali, really, and it's something that'll be forever remembered. From the other side, if you lose, it's not a bad loss. It's like losing to Mayweather, to Sugar Ray Leonard, to Muhammad Ali. It's not a big deal. I believe it only moves your stock up, and you really challenge yourself, and you're responsible for taking the sport, women's sports and women's boxing to the next level, because every one of Clarissa's fights has been historic, has moved the needle in the right direction, not only for boxing, but for women's empowerment and for women's sports all over the world, not just in the United States, not just in the UK. It has wide ramifications. And so if you want to make history and you want to be remembered for the rest of time, you want to fight with Clarissa Shields, for sure.
Fantastic fight, that, and we love her over there here as well. Her stock has gone up massively in the UK as well. Whilst to get you here as well, just a final thoughts on that Whyte-Franklin fight, just your final summary altogether before we finish, mate.
Well, I mean, I think that Jermaine showed that he's world class. No one knew about him. I'm happy. I signed him 3 years ago, and been following him a couple of years before that. I've touted him as one of the best American heavyweight prospects, contenders, and possible champions. And last night he showed that what I predicted came true. And it's really, very rewarding when you start working with somebody and you really don't know. You predict, but you don't know. And then that your predictions come true. It's really beautiful. I'm very blessed that Jermaine put it all together. And he has so much more potential and so much more ability. Boxing fans haven't seen what he really has to offer. And I believe that he arrived at a big stage, and he's going to stay there. And we're only going to see big fights from him from here on forth. And he's going to get better, bigger and better, stronger, faster, and better condition. Yeah, Jermaine is going to be a force in the heavyweight division.
Still disappointed, obviously, though, with the result, though. That's the main factor of that fight, though. Disappointed that the judges didn't see the way that you saw, and arguably a lot of other people saw it as well.
You know, it's funny because the British judge had it even, and the other two judges, one was from Poland, one was from Germany. Those are the guys that had White ahead. I don't know if they got pressured by the crowd or what they were looking at, but the British judge, he had it closest to being right, which is good.
Thanks.
It is what it is. You know, most importantly is the boxing fans and the boxing media know what happened, and you know, Jermaine needs some rest, and we'll speak with the team and see what the best opportunity to go forward is.
Dmitry, again, great to have you in the UK, and great to have you talking to Boxing Social. Take it easy, my friend.